Welcome to this video on organic chemistry. This chapter will introduce you to the basic principles and techniques essential for understanding carbon compounds, as studied in Class 11 chemistry. In this video, we will cover several key objectives, including the tetravalence and shapes of carbon, structural representations, the classification of compounds, IUPAC nomenclature, reaction mechanisms, electronic effects, and techniques for purification and analysis. Organic chemistry is the study of carbon compounds. Carbon is unique due to its ability to form long chains, a property called catenation. It is foundational to life and industry, forming the basis of DNA, proteins, fuels, and polymers. A landmark moment in this field was Wohler's synthesis of urea in 1828. The tetravalence of carbon leads to different hybridization states, which determine molecular geometry. An sp3 hybridized carbon results in a tetrahedral shape, as seen in methane. An sp2 hybridized carbon leads to a trigonal planar shape, like in ethene, while an sp hybridized carbon creates a linear shape, as seen in ethine. Chemists use various methods to represent organic structures. These include the complete structural formula, the condensed formula, the bond line formula, and the wedge dash representation, which helps visualize the three-dimensional arrangement of atoms in molecule. Organic compounds are classified into several categories to help organize their study. Broad divisions include acyclic versus cyclic compounds, allocyclic versus aromatic compounds, and homocyclic versus heterocyclic compounds, based on the arrangement of carbon atoms. When looking at cyclic compounds, we use bond-line formulas to represent ring structures simply. Examples include cyclopropane, cyclopentane, and substituted rings like chlorocyclohexane, which demonstrate how we can efficiently map out complex cyclic frameworks. This section provides practice problems on structural representations. You can test your skills by expanding condensed formulas into their complete structures, or by converting bond-line formulas to show all atoms, including carbon and hydrogen, for a better understanding of molecular connectivity. This flowchart summarizes the classification of organic compounds, breaking them down from parent categories into acyclic and cyclic groups, then further into subcategories such as aromatic, allocyclic, homocyclic, and heterocyclic, providing a clear overview of the structural hierarchy. Functional groups are specific groups of atoms that determine the chemical properties of a compound. Members of a homologous series differ by a CH2 unit. There is also a set order of priority used for naming these functional groups when multiple are present in a single molecule. This table lists various classes of organic compounds alongside their functional group structures, their prefixes and suffixes for IUPAC naming, and representative examples, serving as a quick reference for identifying and naming organic molecules. When applying IUPAC nomenclature, the first steps are to identify the longest carbon chain and apply the lowest locant rule to ensure substituents are given the smallest possible numbers. These rules provide a standardized way to name compounds like toluene, anisole, and aniline. For complex molecules, we must also consider the alphabetical order of substituents and the correct use of prefixes and suffixes. For instance, in disubstituted benzenes, the positions are indicated numerically, such as 1,2-dibromobenzene, to specify the exact arrangement of groups on the ring. These examples demonstrate the application of IUPAC rules for various classes of compounds, including alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, and alcohols. Proper naming allows for precise communication about molecular structure, ensuring there is no ambiguity when identifying specific chemical species. Finally, we consider isomerism, where compounds share the same molecular formula but have different structures. We distinguish between structural isomerism, which includes chain, position, and functional group isomers, and stereoisomerism, which includes geometrical and optical isomers, each leading to distinct chemical behaviors. Moving on to reaction mechanisms, we explore how bonds break. In homolytic fission, the bond breaks symmetrically, creating free radicals. Conversely, in heterolytic cleavage, the bond breaks unsymmetrically, with one fragment retaining both electrons to form an ion. This process is fundamental to understanding how organic molecules transform. Reagents in these reactions act as either nucleophiles or electrophiles. A nucleophile or nucleus seeker donates an electron pair to a reactive site. An electrophile, or electron seeker, accepts an electron pair. These interactions drive the formation of new chemical bonds. The inductive effect describes the shift of electron density along sigma bonds due to the electronegativity of adjacent atoms or groups. This polarization can be designated as either a positive or negative inductive effect, significantly influencing the chemical reactivity of the carbon chain. Other important phenomena include resonance, which accounts for electron delocalization, and hyperconjugation, where electrons from adjacent sigma bonds interact with an empty p orbital. These effects are essential for explaining the stability and reactivity patterns observed in many organic molecules. Now let's look at purification methods. Sublimation is a technique used to separate solid substances that turn directly into vapor upon heating. By avoiding the liquid phase, we can efficiently isolate these sublime compounds from non-sublimable impurities. Crystallization is a common purification technique based on the difference in solubility of a compound and its impurities. By selecting a suitable solvent and cooling the solution, we can induce the formation of pure crystals, leaving the impurities dissolved in the mother liquor. Distillation is essential for separating liquids. Depending on the volatility and boiling points of the substances, we use different methods, including simple distillation, fractional distillation, vacuum distillation, or steam distillation, to achieve the desired level of purity. Distillation processes rely on the principle that different substances boil at different temperatures. By carefully controlling the heating and collection of vapors, we can separate liquid mixtures into their individual components effectively. Different distillation setups are used based on the properties of the mixture. Whether it's separating components with significantly different boiling points or those that are heat sensitive, distillation remains a cornerstone of laboratory purification. Differential extraction is another powerful technique. It utilizes the difference in the solubility of a compound in two immiscible liquids, usually an organic solvent and water, to extract and purify the target substance from a solution. Chromatography is a sophisticated method used to separate components of a mixture based on their differential distribution between a stationary phase and a mobile phase. It is an indispensable tool for identifying and purifying complex organic compounds. For elemental analysis, Lassan's test is a primary qualitative method. It converts covalently bonded elements into their ionic forms through fusion with sodium, allowing for the detection of nitrogen, sulfur, and halogens within an organic sample. To determine the quantity of carbon and hydrogen in a sample, we perform elemental analysis using combustion techniques. The substance is heated in a stream of oxygen, and the resulting carbon dioxide and water vapor are captured and weighed. The Kjeldahl method is specifically used for the quantitative estimation of nitrogen. The organic compound is digested with concentrated sulfuric acid, converting nitrogen into ammonium sulfate, which is then processed to measure the nitrogen content accurately. This concludes our video on reaction mechanisms, purification, and analysis. These core concepts and techniques provide the necessary foundation for advanced work in organic chemistry, enabling chemists to synthesize, purify, and characterize compounds with precision. We now explore qualitative and quantitative analysis techniques to identify the composition of organic compounds. This includes the Carius method, a specialized procedure used for the quantitative estimation of halogens, sulfur, and phosphorus in organic substances. This video has provided a summary of essential organic chemistry concepts, ranging from carbon's unique properties, such as catenation and hybridization, to complex topics like nomenclature, isomerism, various electronic effects, and critical laboratory techniques for purification and chemical analysis. Thank you for watching this overview of fundamental organic chemistry. We hope these notes have helped clarify the core principles of molecular structure and reactivity.